Hey everyone, Greg here, and today I'm working on a free SEO audit, so I figured I would share in a few minutes of what I do during this audit process. So this is Bart's remodeling website, and the checklist that I go through is a pre-made template that I do for every free SEO audit. I put everything into a PowerPoint for the client and their team to review. The main things that go over within the presentation are these 5 criteria points. So this is the technical audit. Then we're going to go over some fixes, things that I can find on the site. Maybe there's a canonical tag error or robots text file optimization that they can do, etc. I go over all that within the free report. The keyword research is probably the thing that matters most to these prospective clients because they want to know where they rank. Maybe they don't have a tool like SEMRush or Ahrefs that are tracking their keywords. So they want to see where they are currently in the field. The fourth thing is I look at their content, usually on a few very select non-brand keywords because that's actually where the value is going to be. And then the last thing is make just a overview of if we become a client or if they become a client of mine, how I work with them, how I review the results, etc. So the first snapshot that I do for everyone is this overview. So here, the way to read it is that they rank for 195 keywords that drive 48 visits to their site. And out of that 48, only 8 come from non-brand keywords. So that's words that don't include their name, like Bart's or Bart's remodel or Bart's remodeling. So what I did here is I did a quick, filtered out the name Bart to get a complete non-brand keyword report. And this is actually where the value is within SEO. So I look at words like remodeling Chicago, home edition ideas, home remodeling Chicago, etc. These are words that are already ranking for this website, but they're not on page 1 of Google. The way to read this is that position column. If you're position 1 through 10, you're on page 1 of Google, typically speaking. So 11 through 20 is page 2, and then so on and so on. So I look at these opportunities and say, if this word is currently ranking on page 3 of Google, I go into that page specifically. I write down a few ideas for them to implement, whether it's like a title tag change, internal linking opportunities, content additions, etc. I only focus on a few examples because, again, this is just a free audit, but it's important to go over the entire process. And one final thing also with a tool like SEMRush, don't dismiss lower search volume keywords. I'm not going to get into search analysis and other ways that you can do keyword research because you don't actually have to use a tool like SEMRush to find out topics to optimize for, but this is just a good placeholder from a keyword rank position and say, if you're on page 3 of Google, let's try to get you to page 1. The other things that I focus on too are those pages that are driving traffic. So no coincidence that most of their traffic comes from their brand search, so it really goes to their homepage itself. So the traffic breakdown here is that, again, they get 48 visits, so 45 of them are coming directly to their homepage. That means somebody who goes to Google, who searches for Bart remodel or Bart's remodeling are going to find that top organic spot, whether it's the knowledge box or knowledge graph on the right-hand side or the organic listing, and they go from there. It's these other pages here that are actually most important to try to rank more keywords and get onto page 1 of Google to drive more traffic. So this is a good summary right here because I think a lot of people are going to just assume that you want to send all your traffic to your homepage. In reality, if you have specific pages on your site that can drive traffic, that's also pretty good too. One final thing before I go back into this audit. A couple other things that I always look at are the robots.txt file. This is the first place Google and Bing are always going to look at when they come to a website. And here I can tell that it's a WordPress site, which is fine. It's actually what I use too. But there's just some minor things that we can always do here, like add a sitemap XML file. If you're already using Yoast, there's already a pre-made XML sitemap file that's built into the platform. So that's a really easy way just to add. And then finally, I'm going to bring this over here. The other thing that I do for every crawl or every audit that I do is I do a Screaming Frog crawl. And I look for some technical errors on the site. So things like whether it's a 404, a 301, a dirty sitemap, which means that there might be some 404s or 500 server code errors within a sitemap, etc. I look for redirect chains. I look for some internal linking opportunities, making sure we're optimizing our images with alt tags, etc. So basically, an entire report takes me about an hour and a half to complete. So I go through the entire site from a high level. I document opportunities. I do the technical, which I think is most important. That usually needs to be done first. And I kind of give those opportunities as well, what you can do to increase your keyword rankings. So again, this is just a behind the scenes look at how I go about this entire process. I hope this was helpful. And if you guys would like a free SEO audit of your own site, you can leave a comment in the section below. Thank you.